So welcome to this week's video. The choice of venue sort of left up to Denise for today.
Yes, fancied a bit of sea air, so headed towards the coast, get a few hours in before it starts getting too hot in the afternoon.
Yeah, so Keyhaven's the venue. We're going to start off at Lymington Lagoon, work our way along the coast and then back again. Hopefully, it's a little bit overcast at the moment, but it's supposed to get a little bit of sun later on. And like I say, we've got some really hot weather coming up, so it's definitely sort of dawn and dusk sessions, I think, for the next week or so. Well, let's see what comes. At this time of year, we were hoping to see a few fledglings being cared for by their parents, and almost instantly we spotted this fledgling oystercatcher. It's certainly showing its feathers transitioning from the sort of juvenile to the plumage of the adult. But still a little scruffy and relying on its parents to provide it food. As we can see, the legs and beak have yet to take on the colour of the adult. A female long-tailed duck had been reported, and we saw it off on this island, but it was way off in the distance and too difficult to get a reasonable view. At low tide, most of the birds were out on the mudflats, so we made our way toward Keyhaven, stopping initially for this very vocal reed warbler. Out upon the mud, the curlews were feeding avidly along the water's edge. They seemed to be feeding urgently, I guess mindful of the rising tide. We were interested to see this curlew and how he was going to deal with this feisty crab. It certainly seemed determined and showing great dexterity and skill with that long curved beak. Success at last. Certainly a well-earned meal. Walking past the boating pond, a few swallows were skimming the surface of the water, perching occasionally on the water's edge. As we walk past Pennington Marsh, another fledgling on the wire fence. Possibly a white or pied wagtail. The godwits and avocets were feeding in earnest at Fishtail Lagoon. The avocets foraging the shallow waters, sweeping their long upturned bills from side to side to catch their prey. Extremely efficient. But Denise loved these little ducklings, which turned out to be a perfect photo opportunity. We rested at the bench that overlooked the reeds at Butts Lagoon, watching the reed warblers, and to our delight, another fledgling, this time sedge warbler. And also a brief view of a juvenile reed bunting. We certainly were in luck today. Just as we decided to return to the car, this adult sedge warbler sat on what must be a favoured perch, singing its long, loud and excited song. For us, this morning session turned out to be surprisingly productive. With a slightly overcast skies and a light breeze, the temperatures were certainly more comfortable than the hot weather we've had of late. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If so, myself and Denise look forward, as always, to you joining us next time.